Social media is just like such a false perception of reality. And even for myself, there would be so many people that would kill to be in my shoes.
What's your worth? What somebody's willing to pay. Caitlin Clark breaking records on the court, breaking records off the court.
Panini Flawless WNBA Platinum Caitlin Clark rookie card
has just set the record for the highest selling WNBA card in history, selling for $660,000.
If Caitlin Clark plays, it will set records. Even if she doesn't, it will break records.
Caitlin Clark hype is real. The effect is real.
This is proving is that she has risen the entire league.
The incredible power, appeal of this 23-year-old woman who is changing the face of sports.
Caitlin Clark just did it again. Even while sidelined, she's making history.
Clark nearly doubled the previous record for the most expensive card in history that was sold for $366,000. The hype is no longer just noise. It's real, measurable, and growing.
The fever with Caitlin's evaluation has got up 273%.
And this time, she shattered her own record. The entire sports world is buzzing, and if you're 100% Team Caitlin, drop a 100% in the comments right now. Let's unpack how she's rewriting the game. Again.
Clark has firmly established herself as the biggest name in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark, she's going to play for 10 years. You got 10 years of price, the worst she's ever going to be. So I think they have all the leverage, or most of the leverage.
I mean, it sucks, right? We're here in Indianapolis, and you want to be able to be well represented with all the players that got selected. But, the great thing for Caitlin is I guarantee she will be back, and she'll come back bigger and stronger. So it's great to be able to see Indy represent, and even more importantly, bringing the best players here to Indianapolis for our fans to see, those that don't necessarily always get a chance to see every other team. They get to see the best players in the world right here in Indianapolis.
When we talk about Caitlin Clark making history, we're not exaggerating. We're talking about numbers that have never been seen before in women's basketball.
Caitlin Clark breaking records on the court, breaking records off the court, record smashed.
Just recently, Caitlin broke her own record for the most expensive WNBA trading card ever sold. Her flawless Logo Man, one-of-one rookie card, was purchased for a staggering $660,000 through Fanatics Collect.
Panini Flawless WNBA Platinum Caitlin Clark rookie card with an autograph. Caitlin Clark, 769 points and counting. That is a one-of-one, it looks like. Sold for, you see that right, $660,000.
Caitlin Clark's flawless Logo Woman one-of-one autograph has just set the record for the highest selling WNBA card in history, selling for $660,000 at Fanatics Collect.
That's not just a big number. It obliterates her previous record of $366,000, which was also held by her.
This cruise past the previous record, also held by Clark, of $366,000.
Think about that. She didn't beat her record by a little. She nearly doubled it, from $366,000 to $660,000. That kind of jump is unheard of in the WNBA card market.
We obliterated from $366,000 to $660,000.
And it sends one very loud message. Caitlin Clark is in a league of her own. This isn't just about one card. Caitlin's rise has sparked a collectibles revolution. Before she entered the WNBA, barely anyone cared about women's basketball trading cards. Today, her cards are driving demand across the board.
As Caitlin Clark's prices raise, everybody else's prices are raising as well. The Asia cards are growing. The Sabrina cards are growing. The Angel Reese cards are increasing in price. Caitlin Clark has started a new market in the card collectible space.
Fans and collectors are diving headfirst into the WNBA card market. Not just for Caitlin, but for stars like Aja Wilson, Angel Reese, and Sabrina Ionescu. All because Caitlin elevated the entire category.
Talk about a pioneer. As indicated in the past, talk about a pioneer, folks. Did anybody ever care about WNBA basketball cards until Caitlin Clark? And all these collectors were like, I'm diving headfirst into the Caitlin Clark collectible market.
That $660,000 card, it's not just a piece of cardboard. It's a signal that Caitlin Clark is one of the most valuable names in sports right now.
What's your worth? What somebody's willing to pay. So how much is that card worth? Somebody was willing to pay $660,000. That's how much that card's worth.
It proves that the hype surrounding her isn't just social media noise. It's backed by real dollars.
I think the record in women's sports is something by Serena Williams.
Real collectors, and real investment value.
Caitlin Clark hype is real. The effect is real. And by the looks of things, by ratings, collectibles, cards, it is not going away anytime soon.
And here's the kicker. Caitlin Clark wasn't even playing when this record was set. She was out with a groin injury, missing her third straight game. Yet even on the sidelines, she dominated the headlines. While the Indiana Fever were fighting for a win against the Las Vegas Aces, the sports world was buzzing over her. Not for points, not for assists, but for history-making value. Collectors say that the card might be worth even more in the coming years. $660,000 today could turn into $750,000 tomorrow, or over $1 million in just a few seasons.
Collectors are more than willing to shell out these types of sums. Might be worth $750,000 tomorrow. Worth $750,000 tomorrow might be worth over $1 million in 2 years.
That's the level of belief people have in her future. This isn't just a fan base, it's a market.
The hype is no longer just noise. It's real, measurable, and growing.
And Caitlin is the one driving it forward. She's not just making headlines, she's making history and cashing it in.
Clark has firmly established herself as the biggest name in the WNBA, and as proven by this latest record-breaking purchase, fans and collectors alike are adamant that her stock will continue to rise in the coming years. Clark nearly doubled the previous record for the most expensive card in history. It was also the reigning WNBA Rookie of the Year, who held the previous mark with her 2024 Panini Prism Signatures Gold Vinyl Prism that was sold for $366,000.
When you're in a position of, people are going to love you, people aren't going to like you. But I think when I show up to arenas, those are the moments that really remind me of how many people are really there supporting you and loving you.
Caitlin Clark is doing something that no WNBA player and few athletes anywhere have ever done. She's changing the entire business of the league, not just the scoreboard. Her latest record-breaking card sale is only the beginning. Because what Caitlin is doing goes so far beyond points per game or highlight reel assists. She's reshaping the economics, the visibility, and the future of the WNBA. And she's doing it while injured. Let's start with the AllStar Game. This year's WNBA AllStar Game drew 2.2 million viewers, a massive number by league standards. And Caitlin didn't even play. She was out with injury, sitting on the sidelines.
Clark, still nursing a re-aggravated groin injury, which previously cost her 5 games on the sideline in June and July, is now looking like she's going to miss an equal amount of time, if not longer, after the Fever announced on Thursday that she still has no timetable for return.
But her influence still showed up in the ratings. In fact, it became the second most watched All-Star Game in WNBA history.
So it got 2.2 million viewers. Even without Caitlin Clark, it was the second highest rated WNBA All-Star Game ever.
Only behind last year's when she did play. Let that sink in. She's so powerful that even her absence generates record viewership. This is unheard of. It proves that Caitlin Clark is not just a player, she's a movement. And that movement is elevating everyone around her. Just like Tiger Woods once did for golf.
Because of her popularity, even if she doesn't, it will break record.
Caitlin has become the athlete who changes the game for everyone.
Tiger made the most money, but he raised the purses in all tournaments.
Teammates, opponents, owners, broadcasters, and investors. You want numbers? Let's talk business. Since Caitlin entered the league, franchise valuations have exploded. The Indiana Fever, her team, saw their valuation rise by an eye-popping 273%. The rest of the league? On average, they've increased by 168%.
League valuations for all these investors have increased in 1 year 168%. That's not the Fever. The Fever with Caitlin's evaluation has got up 273%.
With some teams doubling their worth. That's not from ticket sales alone. That's media attention, merchandise demand, sponsorships, and investor confidence, all skyrocketing thanks to Caitlin's arrival. We're seeing WNBA games broadcast on major networks during prime time. Brands like Nike and Gatorade pouring more resources into women's sports, and sold-out arenas becoming the new normal. Before Caitlin, the Indiana Fever struggled to fill 4,000 seats per game.
Before Caitlin Clark showed up to the Indiana Fever, they were drawing roughly 4,000 fans.
Now, when Caitlin plays, they average 17,000 fans per game.
17,000 fans showing up to Indiana Fever games when Caitlin Clark is playing.
That's more than 4 times what they drew before she arrived. And the fans aren't just showing up, they're showing loyalty. One poll asked Fever fans if they'd still support the team if Caitlin Clark left. The result? 77% said they'd leave too.
If Caitlin leaves Fever, would you still support the Fever? We got 1,145 votes here. Nope, my bags are packed is far and away leading the way with 76.9%, 77% in other words.
Read that again. 3 out of every 4 Fever fans would walk away if Caitlin wasn't there. That kind of gravitational pull is something very few athletes in the world possess. LeBron has it, Serena had it, Tiger had it, and now Caitlin has it. Even during All-Star Weekend, when she wasn't playing, Nike made sure she was still the centerpiece. Her image was plastered across an entire skyscraper in downtown Indianapolis. Not just a banner, the whole side of the JW Marriott. That's the kind of promotion typically reserved for icons. And it was deserved, because she's not just a rookie anymore. She's the face of a revolution. And while the league continues to negotiate its next media rights deal, Caitlin's influence is giving the WNBA something it never had before: leverage.
Caitlin Clark, she's going to play for 10 years. You got 10 years of price. This is the worst she's ever going to be. So I think they have all the leverage, or most of the leverage.
With her on board, this isn't just a sports league. It's a business opportunity.
Now we have 2 back-to-back All-Star ratings. Sets a record, and even if gone.
Investors see the numbers, networks see the ratings, and sponsors see the upside.
If you're an investor, the contract's up, you're negotiating, and your investment's gone up 100% in the last year minimum. Average is 168%. You're selling it?
This is why the conversation about revenue sharing is changing. The players who once received only 9% of total league revenues are now in a position to demand 25%, 30%, maybe even more in the next deal. That shift didn't happen because of a committee. It happened because Caitlin Clark walked in and turned the lights on. And here's the best part. This is just the beginning. She's only in her rookie season. She's still learning, still growing, still recovering from injury. And yet the ripple effects of her presence are already rewriting what's possible for women's sports. The WNBA isn't just hot right now. It's become a conversation, a trend, a business. And it's Caitlin who lit the spark. When she plays, the numbers explode. When she doesn't, they still rise. When she's hurt, she still sells out. When she's silent, she still breaks records.
WNBA All-Star Game without Caitlin Clark. She was injured.
That's not luck. That's not hype. That's power. If you ever doubted Caitlin Clark's influence, let this be your final wake-up call. Because she's not just the face of a franchise. She's the pillar holding the entire WNBA's momentum in place.
This is another example of Caitlin Clark's, power, the draw.
And the wildest part? She's doing all of this while injured. She hasn't played in several games due to a re-aggravated groin injury. But Caitlin Clark's absence has been just as loud and just as powerful as her presence. Let's break it down. While most rookies fade from attention when they're sidelined, Caitlin's relevance grows even stronger. The Indiana Fever recently faced the Las Vegas Aces without her, a huge game against Asia Wilson and company.
At the Indiana Fever, average home attendance last year, first year of Caitlin Clark, was higher than the average home attendance of 5 NBA teams.
And what happened? All eyes were still on Caitlin Clark. Not the box score, not the win, not even the new signings. It was Clark's injury status, her return timeline, and her off-court presence that dominated headlines. And then, she made history again. While rehabbing from injury, Caitlin Clark's rookie card sold for $660,000, making it the highest-selling WNBA card ever.
This is after the flawless Logo Woman 1-of-1 was purchased via Fanatics Collect for a mind-blowing $660,000.
A record she already held. This wasn't just a collectible, it was a message to the world. Caitlin Clark doesn't need to be on the court to be the biggest name in basketball. She is the WNBA's economy, its audience, and its future. She's created a phenomenon where her injury report gets more clicks than some playoff box scores. Her name trends on Twitter even when she's not playing. Networks still lead with Caitlin Clark updates. She's become the only WNBA player who is literally too big to sit quietly, even when sidelined.
They are Caitlin Clark's biggest fans, and they are the reason that these TV ratings are through the roof.
It's the type of cultural dominance we only see in generational superstars. Think LeBron James, Serena Williams, or Tom Brady. And this has created a situation that few franchises are prepared to handle, the Fever included. Because when 77% of fans say they'll walk away if Caitlin leaves, that's not a marketing concern. That's an existential crisis. This is a team that used to pull barely 4,000 fans a night, now selling out arenas with 17,000 people. And if Caitlin's not there, they're one player away from dropping right back into irrelevance. Let's talk real consequences. If Caitlin Clark decided tomorrow to leave the Fever, or heaven forbid, requested a trade, that's 13,000 fans gone overnight based on actual poll data.
13,090 would head right out the door out of 17,000 fans in attendance. That leaves you, guess what? 3,910 fans that would actually hang around.
That's ticket revenue, jersey sales, parking, concessions, sponsorships, all vaporized. This is why some analysts are saying what fans already feel. If Indiana doesn't build around her properly, they don't deserve her. She is the most valuable asset in the league.
The incredible power, appeal of this 23-year-old woman who is changing the face of sports, not just women's sports, but the way men.
And possibly in all of women's sports. And yet, the Fever's management still seems to struggle to fully capitalize. From lineup decisions that limit her touches, to schemes that take the ball out of her hands, many feel that the team hasn't adjusted to the once-in-a-generation talent they've been gifted. As one comment put it, she's not just a player you fit into a system, she is the system. And yet, time and again, she's been asked to play off-ball, to defer, to be a floor spacer, while others dominate the possessions. That's not how dynasties are built. That's how regret is built. But despite all of this, the injury, the team's inconsistency, the media noise, Caitlin remains remarkably composed. In recent interviews, she showed grace, humor, and honesty. She acknowledged the false rumors surrounding her withdrawal from the three-point contest and shut them down with poise. Everyone shoots off a rack. That's just how it works. She didn't hide. She didn't deflect. She addressed it head-on like a true professional.
When Caitlin Clark is injured, the first time she was injured this year, Rich, she would miss 5 games. During those 5 games when she disappeared, more than half of the viewership of the WNBA, not just the Fever, but the WNBA, more than half of the viewership also disappeared.
And that's another thing people forget. She's still just a rookie. This is the worst she's ever going to be. And already she's the most influential player in the league. She's handling pressure most veterans never experience. Every game, every camera, every social media post, she's under the microscope. And yet she still shows up with humility, fire, and leadership. She still signs autographs. She still thanks the fans. She still makes you believe this league is about to explode because of her. Let's not forget the human side, too. In one emotional moment, Caitlin spoke about how important the fans are to her. She said it's those moments, the little kids in the stands, the cheers, the energy, that remind her it's all worth it. That social media isn't real life. That behind the headlines and the hashtags, there's a woman who loves this game with everything she's got. And when you see her smile at the crowd or embrace a young fan, you realize this isn't just about basketball, it's about hope. Caitlin Clark is doing something bigger than scoring points. She's changing the narrative for an entire league. She's giving young girls a hero who looks like them, plays like them, and dominates like no one else. Even on the bench, even off the floor, even in pain, Caitlin Clark is the most powerful force in the WNBA. She's not just breaking records anymore. She's breaking expectations, she's breaking ceilings, and she's not done yet.
The WNBA needs this woman to be there, to be playing well, and that spotlight that shines on her, Rich.
Caitlin Clark isn't just rewriting the record books. She's redefining what's possible. On the court or off it, playing or injured, she continues to lead, inspire, and dominate the conversation. She's not just a rookie, she's a revolution in motion. And if this is just the beginning, imagine what comes next. If you believe Caitlin Clark is the future of basketball, drop 100% in the comments and make sure you're subscribed. Because history is happening in real time, and Caitlin's holding the pen.